on tomorrow, fellas. What are you gonna bring to the doggone church? Are you gonna bust somebody in their mouth? Are you gonna do your doggone job? Are you gonna pray from your doggone chest? Are you gonna pray from your heart and get everything you doggone got? Cause I'ma do that.
Thursday night, I can go home in the morning, stuck in the bed. We out of here.
Yeah, I thought y'all were talking. Oh, you knew in the building.
Over 1,000-yard, 6-game winning streak, sitting at the top of the NFC East. You feeling good about your offseason decision right about now, man?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm happy to be here. I love it here. The city's great. The culture here is amazing. But most importantly, we got the win. There's a lot of stuff we can clean up. I could be better in a lot too. But at the end of the day, like I said, NFC East divisional rival opponent, coming here on Thursday night, get a win is big time.
You couldn't have been much better on those 2 runs late in the game there. What allowed for things to just open up there to let you get through?
Yeah, I mean, it's just patience. The whole line been doing a great job all game. We kept saying we're one away. We got to give credit to the Commanders. Did a really good job in trying to stop the run game. But that's the beauty of football, man. You can shut it down for 20 carries, but if you're wrong with 2 of them, we have a big day, and we stood patient and stuck to the script and got it done.
You know you're going to see these guys again in a couple of weeks here. They gave you a tough time tonight. It's a 2-team race in the NFC East. How important was it to get this one tonight?
It was huge. It was huge to get this one. Keep the streak going. We're in a good routine right now. Like I said, and against the NFC East division rival is always big. But we know we're going to see these guys again. We still got a lot to clean up and have a little short bye week and get ready for next week.
You had your bye early in the season, so enjoy this short bye, pal.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
You got it! You got it! You got it! I'm doing the right guy.
I appreciate you, Jalen. Thanks so much, man. Be good.
All right.
Man comes out, puts on sunglasses, and heckling me on my show. That's okay. Philly signal call.
When you consider your second game in maybe 10 days and the short turnaround time that causes a game like this with the kind of eat out, you just put the team's resiliency again, time and again. How impressed are you with this team's ability to show the kind of resiliency and just play through this stuff?
Yeah, a ton of perseverance out there today. It took everyone as a team, and it comes down to winning. Winning is the main thing. It will always be the main thing. And it takes what it takes, regardless of how it looks, what you have to go through to get it. We'll grow through this situation and this experience in the game. Win, lose, or draw, we want to grow from every situation. But to be able to stay at it, find a way, stick together, that was pleasing.
Jalen, you had to be cleared from a concussion. Is there kind of a hold your breath moment when you're going through the evaluation thinking, because you just don't know how those things are going to go? How were you able to get through that moment?
I guess I beat the protocol.
Do you know how it happened?
I beat the protocol.
Were you surprised they brought you into the medical tent to be evaluated?
It happens. Was I surprised? I don't know, but
your head hit the turf a couple times during that first half. Were you feeling the effects at all?
No.
Whenever you guys were driving towards the end, Gainwell had a couple of big runs to get close to the end zone. It seemed like you guys were talking there. What did you see?
On which one?
When Gainwell had a couple of big runs, right before you had a couple of big runs to the red zone, it seemed like y'all were no huddle. It seems like you were talking to him. Was that something that you saw on the defense at the time?
I don't remember what you're talking about. Probably not the word I should say right now, but I don't know what you're talking about.
What happened in the fourth quarter? What turned around for you guys in the fourth quarter?
We just got it rolling. We're able to get some positive plays, And so when you're able to get completions, keep the sticks moving, keep progressing, and then impose your physicality in the end of it, that's what it comes down to, and excuse me. It's always good when you can score in the red zone. And then when you score outside of the red zone, that's good as well. But situationally, I felt like everything was – I have to watch the film, but we just got to be better in the red zone. We had a ton of good drives. Just got to finish. And that's a really good team. They're a really good team. They'll continue to be a good team. They got great players, and they're well coached, and there's a ton of respect for that group.
Jalen, what did you think of the defensive performance tonight, particularly that fourth down stop? What did that do for you guys?
Yeah, I call Zach Baun the tone setter. In that group, that linebacker group in general, but Zach Baun, how he's been able to come here, be a part of this team, take leadership in his role, and his actions do a lot of talking for him. And that's something that I respect a lot. And just to see how he shows up, how he the physicality he plays with, how he flies to the ball, I think it's a great fit for this city and obviously this defensive scheme. And so I just encourage him to continue to lead that group, continue to do the work he's doing, and everybody continue to build and feed off of one another. Defense played a hell of a game again. That was my message to him, and I knew it was going to take all of us tonight. But the number one thing I was telling him was just keep it going while it's hot. They had a great defensive showing in Dallas last week, and after a short week, they kept the party going. So just got to keep building.
How much did you know about Zach before he got here?
He was a New Orleans Saint. Had a role there. Was a really good player there. Just they let him slip away to us.
And just to follow up, has the defense reached a point where you feel like you're always going to be in a game because of them?
That's just a confidence you want to have in your team. So I don't know if that's a yes or a no. I have a ton of confidence in my teammates and in the defense, but my mentality and perspective is to go out there and take advantage of every opportunity. We want to help one another and we want to be there for one another, but ultimately we don't want to compromise our standards because of another group. And so it takes a team, but every phase has to hold their end of the rope, and we just got to continue to build. Everybody on that side of the ball played lights out. I think offensively, some miscommunications at certain moments and maybe didn't operate at the highest level we could have. And obviously scoring in the red zone is the biggest thing, but when you look at 435 yards of total offense, that's pretty good. And so I want to take advantage of our opportunities.
Jalen, how much did you agree? What's it like when you see you're able to overpower a team like at the end? Is it just kind of like a matter of time? Do you guys think before Saquon gets going and is pretty much able to impose his will?
No, I think every game is different. Every game is different, and you try and walk the path of each game and treat them all independently. You want to just go out there and execute. The mentality is you're always one play away. And if you keep pressing on, keep going, everything kind of answers itself. So we just want to be a football team that plays each play as its own play, treats it one play at a time, takes that approach in the game, and gives it our best.
Jalen, you mentioned that everybody had a role today, but how would you describe what Saquon's role was today and how he and the running game got going late? What did that do to help you guys?
How many carries did he have? 6. Yeah, he put in some good work today, man. And it's I guess it does take time, but every game is different. And when I say it takes time, it's always one play away. So it can be the first touch, the second touch, or the 10th touch, or the 25th touch, whatever it is. We just got to keep pressing and keep playing the game. And I've been talking about this thing of us being multiple, and us having a multiple approach of, it can look different. And so I think as we embrace that as a football team, how different these things can look and how we succeed and how we put up points and produce, I think we'll be able to continue to diversify ourselves in our efficiency and how good we are in that. And so we just need to continue to build, utilize everything that we have in its fullness. And, I gotta find ways to get us going in the red zone, finishing in the red zone.
What's your big picture perspective about where this team is through 10 games, 8-10, first place in the NFC East?
I'm sorry?
What's your big picture perspective about where this team is 10 games into the season?
No big picture. Taking it one day at a time. Taking it one day at a time.
What was your perspective on the Grand Calacatera play?
Punt? What'd you say?
What was your perspective on the Grand Calacatera play?
Play?
Yeah.
What play?
The fumble.
Yeah, that's crucial. We talk about effort, we talk about flying to the ball, and honestly, the number one thing that's been Kellen has brought is flipping and finding finding if you don't have the ball in your hands. So obviously Dallas makes that catch, and he tries to go get some yak, and it's the guy you don't see. And I know he's wishing he would have had better ball security there, but why you flip and find, why you pursue to the ball, offensively and defensively, because you never know what can happen. You want to be there. So good things always happen when you fly to the ball and get to the ball, and it's a crucial moment in the game for sure. That was able to extend our drive. I think it's a great example of effort, finishing the play, and again, you talk about roles. Grant is, I tell you, he's probably one of the most, I think I said this already, one of the most selfless guys on the team with his role, and, it looks different. He popped off for a little bit in absence of Dallas, and now he makes one of the most underrated plays of the game and being able to recover that fumble, extend the drive, and have an opportunity to give it to Saquon a couple more times. So it was a big play.
Okay, thanks, Joe.
Thank you.
Back on HQ, Jayden Daniels at the podium following the loss.
A tough night out there. How are you feeling after a really physical game like that? Everything you guys have been going through, short week.
I feel good. I mean, it's football at the end of the day. Physicality is required in this game, so I feel good. It's just a tough loss.
What'd you think of the decision to go for it on 4th down instead of maybe kicking a field goal there?
I mean, I trust the coaching staff and the decision they make. I'm always a part of, hey, let's go for it. You know, I trust my teammates. I trust the unit. So I always trust the coaches. I never question them.
What happened on the hand injury, and how did you feel?
I'm straight. Just got a little cut.
Was there something that happened, stepped on, or?
Couldn't even tell you. Sometimes it's football.
Well, on the 4th down play, what happened from your perspective? Looked like you bobbled the ball a little bit, or?
Well, yeah, I mean, I got to be louder with the cadence, so I take fault on that. Tyler probably didn't hear me, so it was a delay with the little snap. So it gets loud down there. You know, we're under center, especially in that type of situation, that part of the game, so I just have to be louder.
Have you noticed teams doing different things to try and take your legs away, the scrambling part of the game away from you?
I mean, everybody's playing different, so I can't even answer that question, honestly.
With Terry not being able to target him until the end, did you sense anything they were focusing on, or what was going on there?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they had a little plan of, hey, let's limit 17 and stuff like that. So, you know, we got to go back and watch the film and figure out ways how I could get Terry the ball, how we could get Terry the ball, because he's an explosive player. Obviously, what he's done in his league and his resume. So we want to give our best players the ball as much as possible. So we'll figure out ways to move down the road and do that.
DJ, early assessment of this game. I know you haven't watched the film, but just an early assessment of this game.
Yeah, we got to capitalize. I got to play better. Some throws I want back for sure. I think we all just got to look at ourselves in the mirror and say, how can we get better moving forward?
What do you think has been different for the offense overall over the last couple games?
For us? I mean, we got to execute. You know, we haven't been executing how we were before at the beginning half of the season, so we got to go back and, like I said, look ourselves in the mirror. How can we get better? How can we keep improving? It's a long season, so there's going to be ups and downs, but how can we fight through adversity?
I know no player's 100% at this point in the season, but do you feel like yourself enough to do all the things that you do?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if I wasn't, I wouldn't be on the field right now. So, I mean, I'm not the only player that's finding stuff. You know, obviously, no player at this point is 100% healthy, and it was a short turnaround. So, kudos to the guys that battling back to get their bodies back right for this short game. And, you know, we'll get better from that. You know, go back, rest up, and get ready for next week.
Jayden, so much of this season for you is new moments, new steps, going through new experiences. This is the first 2-game losing streak you had. What do you kind of lean on from your past or whatever to move past this, or we'll figure out, you know, how to get back on that track?
I mean, I don't know if I ever had a 2-game losing streak, but you know, it's just ups and downs, and you got to learn different things throughout the rookie year. Like I said at the beginning of the season, everything's not going to be perfect, even though I would want it to be perfect. But you know, it just comes with, you know, just playing the position, man. You got to go through some stuff. You got to go through adversity. It's how you respond. So you know, I feel like we'll respond great. You know, we'll rest up and we'll get back to it.
Talk about the adversity. Where's your frustration level right now?
I mean, I'm frustrated because we lost, so I don't like losing. I said that many a time, so but I feel like everybody could play better, including myself, man. It starts with me and it trickles down to everybody else, so we got to look ourselves in the mirror.
Will you take some time off over the next couple of days? What's your plan?
I don't even know. Watch football.
Jayden, after the interception with Zach, we're nice together talking. Can you share a little bit about that conversation?
We're just talking about what we need to improve on, what he sees and stuff like that. Obviously, Zach is somebody that's been through this type of stuff in his career, so it's how can we bounce back? And he was kind of just uplifting me as far as, you know, hey, no other person I'd rather play with, no other person I'd rather catch the ball from. So, it's a long season, so keep your head up and just keep moving forward.
One more.
I know obviously you have to get into the prep next week, right? But the fact that you have another divisional game coming up, an opportunity to get right again in the division, is that going to help kind of motivate you moving from this loss to the next game?
Every game motivates me. It's not really a divisional game. Obviously, divisional games mean a little bit more because you obviously want to win your division. But for me, man, I want to win as many games as possible. And, I'll never take this game for granted. I don't cheat the game. You got to go out there and put in the work to get the results. But you got to go through some stuff in sports.
Appreciate it, Jayden.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jayden.
Jayden Daniels' weekend plans the same as yours. Watch some football. Here's a look at his splits, last 2 versus first 9. Total yardage down, and that's largely in part to the struggles getting the run game going. Also has decreased in his output in terms of his efficiency, his completion percentage in the pass game these last couple weeks as well. It was Pittsburgh's defense, it was Philadelphia's. They got a couple layups coming up for Daniels to get back to his numbers.
One read off, we were one block off, and within the last 7 minutes, really started with Kenny. Kenny got in there, got things going, opened up for me a little bit, and the O-line, we just kept leaning on them and trusting them and popped it off at the end.
Speaking of the O-line, how'd you think they blocked?
They're always amazing. They're always amazing, and it's only going to get tougher. We were putting up a lot of rushing yards and gaining a lot of respect, and that's going to be a mindset for teams coming in the game. Make sure that we don't do that because when we get the running game going, it's kind of hard to beat our team. But the beauty of that, we have a lot of other great talent on this team too. So we got to find a way to continue to get them involved and just keep taking one game at a time.
What kind of confidence does the defense give you guys when you are?
Defense is balling. I didn't mean to cut you off, but defense is balling. All the names you guys hear and the jerseys you probably see is mostly on the offense, but those guys are coming alive. I think Q and Coop, young guys who are playing great ball. Zach is playing at an all-pro level. Kobe stepping up. Reed always finds a way. He gets his hands on the ball for some reason. But those guys, you got to play complementary football. We could do a little bit of job of that this game with offense and defense and special teams. But that's the main thing about football. It takes everybody. It takes all 3 phases to win football games.
You guys and you especially have had a lot of success running the ball in the second half. What is it about the second half? What's going on in the second half that you're finding all that success?
One, trusting in each other. We got great vets with Landon and the way he's able to see the field and see the game, and then having Stout and TJ and those guys and Coach Singleton making adjustment at halftime, and that's what football is. They're going to come out there, they're going to do things, and we got to make adjustments, and we did that, and we have to start executing.
You guys have won 8 of your first 10. Can you kind of speak at this point? I know there's a lot of football left, but the significance of that and where you guys are?
You don't get trophy for mid-season. So at the end of the day, we got to keep going. We get a little mini bye week, which I think is good for us. We had an early bye week, and now we get a couple days to get away from the game again, and then come back and get ready for Rams.
Jordan Mailata said that you can tell sometimes they're imposing their will in the fourth quarter. Defensive line. Do you get stronger as the game goes on?
Yeah, I guess naturally. That's why we train the way we train, whether it's on my own or in the OTAs with other guys. I think this offseason kind of gave me like a college mindset. We were really grinding with each other, and when you have those guys up front, it's easy to get stronger because they're doing a lot of the load and leaning on those guys. And again, just keep trusting them, keep trusting the scheme, and try to make the right reads because they're doing a hell of a job for me.
Green, you mentioned that you felt like you were really close a lot of the game earlier, but from the 43-yard rush and on, what was working later in the game?
We just kept trusting it. I know I sound like a broken record, but that's really what it was. We kept trusting it. We made some checks, and we were just a lot of those runs. We're gonna go back, and we were just one away. Whether it's one block, whether it's one read, and or I might have been a little too tight, or I could have hit it outside. Like they did a really good job too. I want to give credit where credit needs to be due. Washington came out with a really great game plan, but that's the beauty of football. You could stop us for 20-something carries, but if you rip off 2 long ones when it matters most, the stats look pretty good, and most times you get a win.
Lane said you guys that you guys had held some plays for the second half, including I think that touchdown run. What about holding those plays really helped you guys maybe break that one?
Yeah, I don't know if it's more of like holding it. We just didn't call it. We didn't get to it. But as you see how the game's going and you get a flow for the game and see how they're attacking us, and we coming back to the sidelines and we're talking to each other in constant communication. I think the coaches do a really good job of listening to the players, and like I said, with Landon, with Lane and Jordan and Cam and Makai, they do a really good job. Obviously blocking, but they just have an understanding of the game plan, an understanding of the scheme, understanding of defenses, which I admire, and I'm gonna try my best to get better in that role and that part of my game. So I can have, hold valuable conversations too, but trusting in them and, coaches listening to them, and we go out there and make those plays work.
Saquon, I don't know how well you saw the play Jalen might have was evaluated for a concussion. He seemed like he was trying to dive and throw the ball on that third down. Like, what did you see? How concerned were you?
I didn't see nothing. I just saw that it said questionable on the big screen. And it said his head, and I went up to him and I said, "You good?" And he said, "I'm good." So we just kept rocking.
Did you hear what the
was
fans
there any frustration level through the first half, the first 3 quarters? You just know it was going to come together at some point?
Wasn't frustration level. I wouldn't say that. Just knowing, you're right there. You're so close. You're so close. And there's some games sometimes where you're so close you don't get the opportunity to bust open and break it through. But yeah, it was no frustration level at all. At the end of the day, the most important thing to do is win football games, and we put ourselves in position to do that. We got to do a better job of executing all around. And when the plays are need to be made, we got to make those plays, and we have those guys to do that in this locker room.
Before the game, you saw a young fan in the stands, and she wanted her jersey signed, her Saquon Barkley jersey, and you had it and signed it. Did you see her reaction
No.
when it was handed to her? She was in tears, like crying hysterically that she got your autograph. What does that mean to you, this interaction with the Philadelphia fans and a young fan like that?
Yeah, that's awesome. That's what it's about, man. One, she did a really good job. Usually I come out with my headphones. I ain't come out with my headphones this time, and she did a really good job of making sure she yelled loud enough to get my attention. So she got my attention and we locked eyes, and I was like, I got you after I'm done with my warm-up. But yeah, it's cool. It's amazing that this game that I've been playing since I was a kid brought me to so many places, and I'm able to have an impact or be able to have a interaction with a young fan like that, and that's what it's all about. And I feel like God's put me in this situation, and hearing that means so much to me, and especially the kids mean so much to me, and hopefully I can continue to do that within the play and my impact in the community.
How are you feeling?
I feel great. A little tired, but I feel good.
The hamstring held up during the game?
Hamstring did great. Again, just trusted in the rehab process. I knew that we were putting in a lot of work to get to this game, so pretty happy with how everything turned out. Thank God, and thanks Steve-O, my trainer.
Run game in the fourth quarter especially takes over. What do you think the reason is for that?
To be honest, I think it's just will. I think you have to want it more than the other team. I think that's what it just comes down to. We can talk about X's and O's, but when you come down, you gotta have it. We always talk about the gotta have it moments. It comes down to will. Do you want to do it? The want to, and I think showed out there on the film that we wanted it more.
I know you guys wanted Saquon to get here. Obviously, once he got here, you didn't have him signed. But after what you've seen out of him through the first 10 games, has he even exceeded maybe what your expectations were of what he would do here?
100%. I knew the guy was a special player. The what ifs, the possibilities of what he could do behind our offensive line, and you don't really know what to expect until you see it, and until he does something. And special player, man. I'm glad he's on our side. That's all.
What's he like when
it's not working?
It's super frustrating. But
No, what's he like?
What's he like? Oh, sorry. Very encouraging. You know, he's talked about, you know, what I just said about the will, the want-to. His will and his want-to is on display 24/7. It doesn't stop. It doesn't waver. And he's very encouraging. Always talks to us. Always communicating on what he's seeing, on what he wants. And as an offensive line, you love that. You know, just the communication side, the honesty. And it's Saquon Barkley, man. Whatever he says, we're like, yes, sir.
What kind of
Yes,
stuff
sir.
does he like say to you?
I'm gonna keep that in house.
The past several weeks, all you could do was watch film, obviously, besides try and heal. What did you learn about this team, or how could that perhaps help you when you get back in the game, once you've been able to just sit back and watch?
Well, first off, it's been painful to watch. There's only so much you can do when you're watching them. So feeling like a fan for the past few weeks, I kind of understand what we put you guys through now. But I think what you see on film, like, there's only so much you can do, like you said. But it only encouraged me and my want to even more. My want to get back and help the team. Because I know what I bring to the table. You know, let's not get that wrong. I know what I bring to the table. And you know, that sitting on the couch just kept fueling the fire for me to come back. And you know, when I got on that field, making every play count. So.
You said when things aren't working, they are frustrating. But is there a confidence, you know, when things aren't working, that like, hey, it's going to eventually work because we got a guy like Saquon? Is that part of the mindset? You know, like any given play.
That is part of the mindset, but we have a lot of pride in that offensive line. So, you know, we know that it's encouraging because we know what we bring to the table as a unit, and all we have to do is give him a small window for him to slip through and make a big play.
You mentioned earlier Saquon and what he says to you guys when he's talking about. He was saying about all the things you guys as offensive linemen are always talking about. What is that give and take like, and how important is that in a relationship between a back and a line?
That's what he told you?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Well, I'll tell you what I told him at the start of the third quarter. I said, I'll be damned if we lose this game on my comeback game. He said, I got you. And he showed out in the fourth quarter. He said, I told you. And I was like, oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you. But that's what it's like. You know, you just when things don't roll your way, you just got to keep playing the next play. And you got to learn from your mistakes. I mean, the first half, we just weren't moving the ball at all. And at halftime, our coaches made the right corrections, and we were like, okay, we're all on the same game plan, and went out there and we executed the second half.
We didn't have the momentum, and second half we gained that, and started with Kenny, you know, some of those big first downs, and Saquon had some two massive touchdowns. So, you know, that's the power of the run game. Eventually, you know, after a while, it'll break open for you.
What's it do for you guys when the defense makes that fourth down stop there?
Yeah, I mean, I think defense is playing the best they have all year, really the past 2 or 3 weeks. Tremendous plays, you know, that 4th and 2 on the opponent's sideline was a huge play. And, yeah, man, they're really putting offense in a good position, and we didn't do a good job the first half. We put them in some terrible positions, but, you know, hats off to them, man. They're playing really well.
Laying back to Saquon, on the first touchdown on your side, your arm went up immediately that you knew he was getting to the end zone. How did you know so quickly, with so much more grass, he had to go?
I feel like I'm the weatherman. No, I just, you know, I played this game for lots of years, and I've seen some guys score some points, so I see stuff kind of unfold. And, yeah, there's a few times where he doesn't score, but, you know, a lot of times he's making a touchdown or getting close.
What's it like watching him with that burst? Like, he can take it to the house from anywhere.
It energizes me. You know, anytime, you know, you can get some energy as an older fella, you know, you do that. So, yeah, man, he really in all game, even when stuff wasn't going good, he was like, come on, keep attacking to the O-line, keep attacking. It's going to break open for us. It's going to break open, and eventually it did. So, I mean, that's what kind of guy he is. When things aren't going good, I think that's when you can really tell a lot about a person. He was, you know, never wavered.
BG was just telling us about the chemistry of this team. He said all that off the field stuff really matters. How do you kind of measure how much the chemistry and off the field relationships have played into what you
Yeah, I mean, when you get to know somebody and you care about them on a personal level and you understand, you know, who they are, where they come from, their family, you know, you tend to lay it out on the line a little bit more, and you sacrifice a little bit more. So, you know, as an older guy now, I try to preach that to the young guys and really, you know, do my due diligence of, you know, creating some energy. And, you know, BG has always been good at that. and it's been something I need to work on, and still need to work on.
As an older guy, what do you think about having to play less than 3 days from playing in Dallas on a short week?
Yeah.
Do you think that contributed to both teams being a little flat?
Yeah, I mean, Thursday games they're difficult for really everybody in the league. Short turnaround, you have usually we have a 3rd down day, a 4-minute day, a goal line day, and you have to jumble into one. So, it's really, you got to go out there and compete with what you have. But yeah, I mean, a lot of it's about recovery. I thought we did a good job. We were off early Monday. We worked out, and then Tuesday and Wednesday, obviously big walkthrough days. But yeah, man, I mean, coming in, you knew what type of week it was. I didn't want to, an emotional Dallas win to put our focus or make a lapse in focus for us, which kind of showed itself in the first half. But, that's what the NFL's about, man. It's everybody has their back against the wall, and you got to make it. I think that the key to the games is making adjustments on the sideline in the halftime.
To be honest with you, our defense just got great Our defense is great with awareness right now. Like we're hitting all cylinders. We're doing the little things after the practice. We're doing. And you guys been at practice. You guys see like how hard Nick coaches on us on certain situations and stuff. It's fun when every week a new player makes a play for the team and win the game. It's just that 4th down stop was a test to the whole defense. Like we heard a lot of noise all week, and most physical team and the most disciplined team come out and win the game. And I think that 4th down stop was all about discipline more than just physical will, because everything broke down, as you guys say, but it's just willing to get the stop and understanding that there's a lot of ball left and put the game on our shoulders to go win the game.
Yeah, Daniels didn't throw downfield much at all. What were you guys doing to stop that? It was check down city pretty much.
There's another quarterback that ain't throw downfield, right? I credit our corners, man. Our corners are doing a hell of a job. Coop, Vontae, Nickel, and Dom is doing a hell of a job. And our linebackers. And our D-line just constant pressure. So every quarter we play has been great. It's been good in their own way. And it's just when you put that together as a whole and the ball doesn't travel like you see weeks prior against teams that they play or anybody we play, it's just a good sign for our defense as a whole.
There's a stat out there that Q lined up against McLaurin 20 out of 25 times outside, and he didn't get targeted once. How's that kid?
Yeah, so he's working. Terry Vaughn's a hell of a ball player, but we got a 1st-round corner for a reason.
Zach Baun had another big game. What do you make of what he's been able to do so far?
Just playing ball, man. Like I told you last week, just not making the moment bigger than what it is, and just playing ball. Like every game, everybody want to pull out analytical stuff. We're just pulling out our big boy pants, going out and play football.
CJ, you know how hard the league is. Are you ever surprised that
I was a little nervous.
Q and the rookies, though, that they're able to. I mean, they're almost making it look easy as kids. I mean, and it's not easy.
Are they putting the preparation and work? I mean, shout out to Q and Coop, and shout out to Coach JK and CP and Vic for trusting us as a whole and understanding that this is a young group, but they play like veterans. And I don't think the moment's ever too big for them. I think it is always calm, cool, collected, and having them two out there makes it easier for us, the older guys,
On that 4th down when they kept the offense on the field, what were you guys thinking?
Put out the damn fire. Y'all been seeing it since Brazil, how many times in the red zone. Our offense, we're not worried about what our offense can do right now. And that's in a positive way I'm saying it. We just worry about getting them the ball back and just going to finish the game.
You were here 2 years ago, and that was a really good defense.
Yeah.
But this defense, it's doing things a little differently. What's the difference in terms, of how you guys are stopping teams?
Everybody can play, and everybody can rush, and everybody can cover. So you might see one thing, you may see a weakness one week, or something might get exposed, but we fix it quick, understand what we're going to get attacked at, and we go right back to work.
Take me through the fumble when you see it on the ground and jump on it.
Yeah, I mean, first I just saw Dallas catch it and just went to go block for him, and I saw that he fumbled, so I just got on it.
Did he say anything to you after that?
Yeah, he said, "How much money do you want?" Yeah, said $1 million. He said deal.
Checks in the mail.
No, he's not. He ain't sending me shit. He's grateful, but that's what good teams do. We're taught to chase after the ball, go block, and I just happen to be in right spot, right time.
Is that the kind of play that you think the coaching staff will really appreciate?
No doubt. Coach always points out plays like that, you know, where guys are doing things that aren't necessarily noticed by everybody else. And so, yeah, it'll be noticed for sure.
Is that cool in a way that, you know, obviously there's so many people to get the football and you can make an impact in a different way?
No doubt, yeah. You know, I was telling Lane on the sideline, like, I just care about winning. I could care less if I get balls thrown my way. You know, whenever I'm out there, I'm just trying to do my best to help the team win.
How exciting was it to see Saquon really float it out in the fourth quarter for you?
It's unreal. He's so good. Such a good player. Yeah.
What's it been like kind of just watching him work this year?
It's so cool. Yeah, he's one of the best ever. He's a generational talent. And, yeah, I'm in awe half the time.
Thank you, guys. Yeah. Come on, be able to break off those big runs.
It's incredible. You know, he's a true special talent. You know, just looks like he's better than everybody else out on the field. Looks like he's playing with high schoolers. But it's cool to have him on the team. He's an incredible guy and truly a special player.
I think Kenny, though, on the first touchdown drive, kind of got things rolling a little bit. He kind of gets overlooked at times. So what does he mean to the team?
He means a lot. He's been an incredible player for us for, you know, ever since he got here. And, you know, he doesn't get as many touches. Obviously, Saquon gets the bulk of them, but when he does, he makes the most of his opportunities. And you love when he gets going because it just brings a little bit of juice to everybody on the team.
How much did you appreciate Grant today jumping on that ball?
Man, I owe him a lot. I know if we don't recover that one and end up losing the game, it's going to be a tough weekend for me, that's for sure.
How much does that kind of show a player's awareness that, you know, he's not even really in the play, but he's able to scoop it up?
Yeah, I think he had a thumb D on the other side, and you know, he's someone that plays with really high effort. He's always running to the ball, trying to find blocks, so it's just a credit to the way he plays the game.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Make the difference between winning and losing, obviously, and make a season.
Yeah, I mean, when it's your turn to make a play, you got to make a play. So that's what I did. Yep, that was my turn.
With the Kobe, right?
Yep. And it goes back and forth, and you just got to be excited for guys making plays all over the field.
What was the communication that you guys had on that 4th and 2? What did you think could possibly become an
You obviously prepare for a situation like that, but you never know what they're going to run. He bobbled the snap a little bit, I think, and he's a confident guy, and he was good taking himself, and then you just got to make the play.
Did you see Jalen Carter and what he did to blow up that play in the beginning?
No, I got to watch it. I can't wait to watch it, yeah.
How incredible is the combination with you guys at linebacker and what the line is doing in front of you?
I mean, it's the linebackers, it's the line, it's the back end. There's communication. The communication's really clicking right now. And it starts up front with the D-line getting pushed back and knocked back, and then the communication in the back end and trusting that we're going to pack the zones is in the linebacker spot.
You've had a lot of big plays lately, forced fumbles, fumble recoveries, interception, but it seemed like you let out a lot of emotion after that stop.
Yeah, I don't usually let out a lot of emotion. If I make a play, my teammates say I need to celebrate a little bit more, and I'm trying.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
And what was that like on the sideline after? Because did you feel the momentum shift?
Oh yeah. I just remember being tired and teammates coming up to me and slapping my helmet.
DJ was just telling us about the chemistry of this team and how important that really is. How would you evaluate the chemistry through these first 10 weeks?
Yeah, it's awesome. Coach Nick talks a lot about connecting in the locker room, and we really took that to heart. And guys are playing ping pong in the locker room and listening to music. Jordan Mailata is playing his guitar, and we're hanging out on the couch. So just connecting all around is crucial for a team.
Cowboys football is physical all the time. It's mental. I would think that after you make a play like that, Saquon breaks too.
Yeah.
He just absolutely was not going to be denied.
Yep.
You know, and then when Baun Smith makes that sack, I mean that set up better field position on the ensuing drive.
Yep.
I mean it's all working right now. Can you talk about that a little bit? How
about the
symphony of the whole thing. About complementary football.
Oh, hey, that's what it's all about. Our biggest thing on defense is if the offense scores, we got to get a stop on defense, and we know how crucial that is to changing the game.
Zach, there's so many people that look at this offense and see all the big names over there, but during this winning streak, it really seems like it's the defense that has played so well. What does it mean to you guys to have the role you guys have played as defense and to be playing as well as you are?
Yeah, I think at the beginning of the season and preseason, a lot of people were underestimating this defense and the guys we have, the pieces we have. And we set out to change the narrative and show that an electrifying group right here. This is what we do, and we're not going to back down from anybody.
You guys obviously heard a lot about Jayden Daniels coming into the game. What did you see out of him, and how do you think you guys really did playing against him?
Yeah, an athletic guy that's gained some confidence throughout the way, he has the ability to make every throw and then tuck the ball and run it whenever he feels necessary. So it's a lot to prepare for, but we got the guys on this defense and the speed on this defense to take care of it.
Let's start off, biggest play, obviously, to go for it, and 4th down and 2 at the 26. Bold call, but I would also say we're prepared for that moment. Don't love the execution, but we've been an excellent 4th down team. So going into it, we knew we'd have to take our shots against a tough division team on the road. We thought that was an appropriate one. Certainly don't like the execution and the result, but we were prepared for that and being bold into those moments, knowing we'd have some 4th downs. But that's one we could fix. Thought 3rd down on both sides was tough, especially offensively tonight. And like I said, a game like this puts you through the resilience. And love to say that the season's going to go all along smoothly, but the adversity comes and hits. And like I said, tough division game on the road, so glad it opened up to you guys with questions. Get started.
On the 4th and 2, how much does it factor, like they were starting to move the ball and getting some stuff? Did that factor in your decision there?
It did. Yeah, all of it did, but we also felt strongly, so I guess I felt even more strongly there, John, just because of that.
Jayden had his hand cut. Did that factor in at all to think we would bobble a little bit?
No, not for that one. I think just the execution of the play got junked up.
Just Jayden in general, obviously the offense was off for most of the game. What did you think of his performance and kind of what was not working?
Yeah, I thought always when you talk about the entire thing, you want to say, where can we do it better and how can we hit it better? And so more often than not, it's an entire, group. Can we hit this part? Can we hit this part? And last week we had talked about, opportunities that had been missed. And so when we go back and look at the tape tonight, Ben, we'll have a better sense for that. But more than anything, man, being able to get our explosive plays going, like that's part of, who we are and how we do it. So it was good to have Brian back in it tonight, and but not to have the execution that we were, counting on that left the mark.
How much with those explosive plays they took away the receivers a lot? Was it more just were they doing something with coverages that?
I'll have to look at it more, John, but not anything different than what they had done. Vic and their group's got a good group. They played aggressive and go, and we'll be back at them again in 5 or 6 weeks. So we'll get plenty of chance to look at it. But this one, just not being delivering like we were really ready to go fight for it. And when you don't do that, obviously you're pissed and you're bummed.
Late in the game, you guys had that long drive. Was there any thought of trying to go quicker or call timeouts? Was it a 2-score game?
Yeah, we were trying to. Honestly, it wasn't about going slow or that part. So, we wanted to get the score in quick, try to get it in before the 2-minute for sure.
Has Jayden been limited at all by the rib injury or any other team?
Early on he was, Nikki. Probably the first game back, and then it started trending for sure better. But I think it's fair to say the first game after Carolina, not sure who that was against, and then that's an injury that gets better.
But in this game,
no.
He, okay.
The defense obviously in the first half was flying around with the ball. Faded late. They were also on the field a lot.
Yeah, I think probably if you had both, reps from last and this together, I thought emptied the tanks, and I felt that, the end of the road getting close. That's was part of it. Hey, go 4th down, keep it, go. We're gonna get this, conversion and keep going. Not to say we were gonna score a touchdown onto that drive, but we were gonna keep going and keep using more clock, and so that was all part of my decision. Like I said, I bummed on the result, but going into it, we were prepared for the moment, and as John had said earlier, that also factored into it. Just can we keep on going?
Danny, haven't lost 2 games in a row yet. What have you learned about this group that would indicate how they would respond?
We knew that adversity comes. Like, it just does. That's our game. That's why we love it so much. There's hard parts, and tonight's hard. And in fact, I even said that. The last 2 games, these are tough, and they test your resolve. They build some of your resilience. It's a difficult, 4 or 5 game stretch, whatever it is. And it also emphasizes the ability to go close it and be there at the end and go win it. And those are the lessons for us to say, to be the team, we can be. Those have to go down on our terms. And we've been pretty good in that spot. And so over the last 2 weeks, not to finish. And that's not one side of the ball. That's collectively, finding that blood in the water and say, we're going to go end this thing. And we'll get there. But over the last 2 weeks, we weren't able to demonstrate that and express that, to the fullest level.
At the end of the half, you were really aggressive and you were calling a timeout when they had the ball. And then the last play, you didn't.
Yeah, there comes a time when that it's not worth going again. So I usually try to think, can we create a 2-minute for us at the end of the half? That's one of the things we do well. But there is a time spot to say, once I get below that one, then I don't. But I do try to, if we can take a shot to go, we'll do it. But it's not going to be at 10 seconds or something along those lines. So if we can keep it in the parameters, that would be, from our game management spot, we're really prepared in that space. But if it goes below, I don't want to be reckless into that spot.
Some of the pressure that the Eagles were able to get on Jayden, did you feel like you got overly sped up back there trying to?
Yeah, I'll take a better look when you're at the end. I'm sure that was the case when you can pin your ears back and go. But not having their ability to keep converting and getting on to third downs, that's a big deal. We were prepared heading into it. It didn't feel like a different game plan going into it. But they're inside, there's a factor. And so that's for our team to regroup and get it going. And I guess we get ready in about 10 days from now. So a couple days for us to get our legs back under us will be good and dig right back in before we get back on.
Take 3 more.
It's a hard game, and it's hard to win. So try not to make it any harder. Down 2 with 3 on the table. Sometimes you got to take it. The Commanders, in turn, fall to 7-4 and the 7th seed, entering weekend play in Week 11.
All right, Slade, you guys are okay with like 3 or 4 questions?
Go ahead, hit it.
Coach, I realize it's the third game in 4, third game in 3 nights, couple behind win. How much of a, I hate to use the word character check, but a character win was this?
Yeah, it was a good win. Anytime you can get a win in this league, it's huge. And that's a good opponent. So much respect for the coaches on that opposite team and the players on that Washington team. Again, so much respect for Coach Quinn. He's done an unbelievable job. So we knew we had to be on it today. And so we played a good opponent on a short week, and it was big to get a win.
I saw you go over to Jake Elliott when he was having his troubles. What did you say to him?
I mean, Jake's been so clutch his entire career and his entire time that I've been here too. And just like I would say to somebody that fumbled or dropped a pass in a moment, we believe in you. You're going to have to make a kick to help us win this football game. And, he did to get us up that 16 points and 8 points or whatever it was. But, we have so much faith in him. And, that's what you do. And when the connection happens, I think connections happen when you can really build connections through tough times, right? And so obviously he was going through a tough time, but, this team believes so much in Jake Elliott, because of his track record and who he is and the teammate he is, the captain he is, and just wanted to let him know that we all believed in him and can't wait for him to get his opportunity to go out and do it again.
Terry McLaurin only had 1 catch, didn't see it until the 4th quarter. I think Q lined up against him 20 times and he had 0 targets. What was the key to shutting him down?
I think, first and foremost, Terry McLaurin is a phenomenal football player. Man, I liked him coming out. When I was in Indy, he's an Indianapolis kid. We did a lot of work on him and just really think the world of him, the player, the person. He's been awesome in his career. With that being said, I think our guys did a nice job going against him. I think it started up front. We were able to get some pressure on the quarterback and force some scrambles, and we did a good job plastering on some of those scrambles. But just good team defense, and a lot of credit to Q, a lot of credit to Slay, a lot of credit to the underneath coverage that was helping them go other places with the football. Or, it just takes, again, being on good team defense takes being on the same page, playing with great effort to the football, which I saw a lot in this game, and then just tackling well. I think we probably missed a couple more tackles than what I'm used to us missing, but credit to their players that can, Austin Eckler, I was fortunate enough to be with him in 2017 with the Chargers, and he's still everything I remember him, because he's pretty elusive in the open field. But that's the key to, getting off blocks, playing physical, and I thought our defense was lights out tonight.
How about the fumble recovery by Grant Calacatera? How big of a play was that, and what to say about him that he was all the way down there?
Yeah, first, Dallas got to do a better job protecting the football. He swung the football there, and we'll get that corrected. Dallas was bummed about that, but good things happen when you get to the football. That we talk about that on defense. We talk about that on offense. When you're hustling to the football, when you're getting to the football, when you're playing with relentless effort, good things happen. And I think that, we've made a big emphasis on after the catch, who can you flip and find? Meaning, who can you flip and find and get a block on him, right? To be able to spring that thing open even more. And so that was just effort by Grant of, trying to set his teammate off to get a big gain. And then he's around the football to be able to pick that up there, In 2022, I think Quez lost a similar fumble in this game against the Commanders, where it was on a deeper pass, but they were able to recover it. That was a huge recovery. But again, we'll stress that because we'll really talk about that because like I said, good things happen when you get to the ball, and again, it's Dallas will get all the yards for that, but Grant made a huge play right there, and Grant continues to do things with the ball in his hand, without the ball in his hand, whether he's the number 1 tight end, whether he's the number 2 tight end. And we're winning football games because Grant's playing good football. It takes everybody. Not everybody's role is the same, but everybody's role is vitally important. And that's team football. And that's where you're proud of the guys of just playing good team football together.
What was that career high in tackles tonight? I know you haven't seen the tape, but is there anything that you can see from the sideline on his game, and how has he progressed these last few years?
He is a freak athlete. I really think that Jalen Carter, whatever sport he would have put his mind into, he would be a big time player in that sport. And he's just such a good athlete, and he's able to get to the football. He's violent when he gets there. There was a draw that they ran, or it was kind of I think it was a draw, that he retraced and made a play and got a big hit on Jayden Daniels. And so, again, I just think that he's been playing more than all the guys. You guys would tell me, I know recently he's played a lot more than the other guys. I don't know exactly the snap count, but he plays with relentless effort. He plays with great athletic ability. He plays with great violence when he gets to the football. Made some, everyone will talk about the 4th down stop, but there was a couple plays he made behind the line of scrimmage that put him in the 4th down on that drive, which was a huge stop for our team.
4th down stop, what did that do for the team?
I'm sorry?
4th down stop, what did that do for you?
That was huge. That was huge. I mean, that's a turnover in our eyes. And it looked like they had something with the snap. I didn't see exactly what happened, but we got, not only did they have something with the snap, but we got pushback. I don't know who that was. We got pushback on the center and then the guard, I think, and then we were flying to the football. I think we've shown great athletic ability on defense. Again, it takes relentless effort, but shoot, you need good athletes out there doing it. So a credit to Howie and his staff of the guys that are on this field. We're an athletic defense that flies around and hits. And that's as that play got strung out, you could see the effort to the football, but you also could see the athletic ability to the football to make that play. Because Jayden Daniels is obviously a really good athlete, really good football player. And it was good to be able to string that thing out and get the stop. It was huge. because we went down and made it a 2-score game at. Was it 19-10 when we made that? Yeah, I think it was 12-10. Yeah, so huge because then we went up 2 scores. So big stop, but it wasn't like it was a short field, right? The offense had to go do its job, and really we were able to lean on the big guys up front. Man, how special were they tonight? I'm really excited to watch that tape. Obviously, Saquon's going to get all the credit for that, but again, you can't be great without the greatness of others. And Saquon was great tonight, but that offensive line was really good. And, even on Saquon's touchdown, we got the receivers running off on that play. Smitty's running off, AJ's running off to that side where he's able to, that's effort. And I think our guys have been playing with extreme effort. And good things happen when you're doing those things.
The running game, Nick, as a whole, probably on paper, not where you wanted until the fourth quarter, and then it just. Do you get a feeling for that? You just talked about.
Yeah, I thought Kellen did a great job calling the game. I know it was tough sledding at the beginning, but he kept leaning on the run game as the game continued on. When you got a back like Saquon, I mean Kenny Gainwell, how about how he played, huh? Because we got into Kenny came in for Saquon, and Saquon needed a break, and we were going on the ball because we were having some good, tempo as we were on the ball and kind of had them on their heels, and we just kept going. And, man, Kenny played his butt off. But, yeah, you get the feel of that as the game. We felt like we were getting some movement up front. Again, that's a really good defense, great defensive coaches, great defensive players over there. They got some good youth over there as well that you notice and have some speed.
But
hold on a second. It was huge. It was huge that we were able to get that going, and Kellen just sticking with it, even though some of it was muddy early. But that's how it goes sometimes in the run game, right? It's ugly sometimes. It's grimy sometimes. It's like, but you continue to grind that out, and that really helped us put that game away.
The trick play, what was the game? Jalen Hurts was kind of off. He was either holding the ball too long, or it's just his timing was off. Was anything wrong? Was it just holding the ball too long?
Well, I'll have to look at the tape. I just, again, it didn't. It's everybody that contributes to a slow start offensively. It's not just one person. This is a team game. It's always a team game, and it'll always be the team. And so I'll have to go back and look. What I'm proud of the offense, what they did tonight, is that they found a way. They found a way to continue to put points on the board, and to be able to stretch that game out. Obviously, the defense did a great job of holding a good offense down, but the offense just kept finding a way. We'll look at the tape. We'll see what happened. It wasn't a great start for us. It was ugly, but sometimes those ugly moments turn into, again, part of it's the run game was a little ugly, and it wasn't as clean. But then as the game progresses, I'm just so proud of the guys that they do truly have this dog mentality of like, all right, it's not going good. Well, what are you going to do about it, right? It's just you just all you can do is learn from what happened, and sometimes it's hard to learn from what happened within game because you don't know exactly sometimes what happened. But you put your head down and know that the only play that matters is next. And this is just such a resilient group that can really put bad plays behind them and move on, and they can put good plays behind them and move on. Like you said, when we went up, we were up 12-10. We get the stop. We go up 19-10. That was a good drive. We get another stop, or we get the pick by Reed, and we go score another touchdown. Like that is truly, it's so much easier said than done of how do you play the next play, but the guys did a good job of that.
What was it like at halftime from your perspectives? Jalen's getting checked for the concussion. Are you putting in contingency plans for Kenny at that point, making sure that Jalen's okay? What's that?
Yeah, I got information really early on. I think as I was going into the locker room that Jalen was going to be, he cleared. But really, what we talked about at halftime was that, hey, this is going to be a grimy, gritty game, and just keep going because we know we're grimy and gritty. We know that team's grimy and gritty. A lot of respect for them, but we just kept going, and that was the talk at halftime. Like, hey, it's a street fight, and we just got. It's not about who's tougher; it's about who's tougher longer. And we all said that to each other, and we went out, and I think they got points right away. Right, I think they got 3 points right away. But then, again, just great resilience by our guys.
What does a great defense do for a team's mentality?
Yeah, again, I think similar to like when you're running the ball like we're running, we really pride ourselves. I think since I've been here the last 4 years, when we've played our best, we've played with extreme physical toughness, mental toughness, physical toughness, relentless effort. And I think that when you play, you think about the run game when you do that, you talk about the defense. Again, like what part of those things, when you describe defense, good team defense, again, it talks about, we start with being on the same page, but everything else is about effort, physicality, right? Toughness, the way you strike blocks, the way you get off blocks, the way you tackle, all those things, fundamentals and toughness. And so it just brings that light of we have tough guys. Like we're tough on this football team because we got tough guys. That's so important. You can't be tough if you don't got guys that are tough. And so I think it just emphasizes what we want to be as a team, the physical toughness, the mental toughness, the relentless effort, all those things umbrella over the word tough in our mind. And that's a core value of ours, and it's huge to the football team because, I mean, just like a big catch or a big run, a big hit does the same thing, right? Whether it's finishing somebody on the sideline as an offensive player or getting a big hit or a pushback on the defensive line, and we'll highlight the crap out of those on when we review this tape. We'll look at those, and we just want to build on that.
The trick play. What was the thinking there?
Well, I'm sorry.
The trick play. What was the thinking there?
Yeah, we were trying to get a big play.
Was late. I mean, just what went into preparation for that?
A lot of preparation goes into trick plays. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But a lot of preparation goes into it. They got us on that one.
All right, thanks. All right. Jalen's on his way in.
They don't respect us. They don't know about our heart, man. That thing is beating your doggone chest right now. Whatever you got today, I got to have.